Hey Les, how are you doing?
I'm just barely hearing you. And Les, how you doing? I'm doing fine. Thank you.
All right, I'll try to speak up if that works for you.
Yeah,
Um,
good.
all right. Hey, wanted to ask you about Devin Neal, the importance of keeping him in state, in town, and bringing him to Lawrence.
Well, first of all, he's a very fine athlete, and that's the first piece. But then he also meets the criteria of being a high school player and a guy that can lead right from Lawrence. And I it was important from the start. We created a great relationship between him and his family, and we're thrilled. We think he's just what we need.
Okay, what did you feel like were your primary needs that you had to address with this signing class?
Well, we had a number of those, but here's the places that we needed to get numbers. We needed to get safety numbers. Okay, we've been fortunate to handle corner numbers, but we needed safety numbers, and we took three in O.J. Burrows, Jason Gilliam, and James Wright. All three of them are talented men that can run and hit, and uh, Jason Gilliam's big, and Burrows is a 5'11", and so you're looking at good size safeties. The other need was defensive line. We took two, Tommy Dunn and DJ Withers. I remind me to tell you a story about DJ Withers, but that was he'll fit in perfectly. Two corners I mentioned earlier, and three linebackers. The three linebackers and Andrew Simpson, Demarion Alexander, and Trey Staley. Those guys are going to fit us in special teams. They're going to fit us in really a number of ways. So those were our main needs. Of course, we had to have a quarterback. Got a quarterback, very talented one in our opinion, and then we need to build our ranks. We need to, have those guys that are ready to come to Lawrence and play to win.
With Ben Easters enrolling in the spring, what's kind of your expectations for him? I mean, do you expect him to come in and compete for a starting job?
Well, it's in any event, he's going to get an opportunity to be looked at. And we'll look at him and figure his abilities to play, period. But also, we're going to give him plenty of time because he's a talented guy, and we'll play it by ear. If he's ready to go right away, then certainly we'll not be void of that opinion. But if he is if he's going to take some time, that's fine too. We just want him to develop.
Hey Les, I know you've had some baseball kids in the past. When it comes to springtime, how do you divide things up between the football time and then the baseball time with Coach Price?
My first guy on that was a baseball guy is a guy named Josh Fields. Josh Fields would come over, and he was a quarterback, and we would practice in the morning, say 10 o'clock, and he would be done by 2 and taking batting practice. And on Saturdays, he might throw a touchdown pass during the morning with us, and then go down the way, not very far from there, at Oklahoma State, and hit a home run or two. So if we could get baseball guys like that, I may walk him. I mean, with Devin, I may walk him down there and carry his bat because I'm an old catcher and would enjoy watching him play.
Hey, last year you were pretty high on Karan Prunty, and he ended up starting and playing all year and playing well. Is there anyone in this class you kind of see following in his footsteps in that regard?
Yeah, I gave you Cable Dew too, but not as quite as strongly as Prunty, right? Okay, now let me look at this over here real quick. I like my linebackers. I like those offensive line lads. The safety, certainly that safety spot will be guys that will step in and play. But probably if I had to pick, I might pick the wide receiver position too. Keelan Robinson, Magic Rector. Those guys might give you some plays.
Hey, Les, I saw a photo and you were there with a Christmas tree and the couch, kind of mimicking an in-home visit. What was it like this signing time to do everything virtually?
I never really thought that I would be sitting in a room in this building dressed like a living room and be giving a home visit. But I can tell you this, we had fun. We have a support staff that's around here that's not in this room, and they did a magnificent job really from the start. I mean, we did virtual tours on campus. We did virtual in-home visits. I mean, we had to be creative, just like the rest of college football, and put ourselves in a position so that we could get to know our prospects. And I think it was certainly successful, and certainly we did get to know our prospects. And we studied our film. We did evals. We made sure that the prospect was a very quality player. And then we'd go in his home, and it would be our home here, and we would be mimicking a home visit. And one of the pieces would be academics. We're going to tell you how to study, where you study, who are people that are responsible there, and we had a great time. There was a point in time in the visits most recently that I said that Santa Claus was has made stops here in this building, and we might well have a present for you. And of course, now this was all virtual, and so I couldn't hand him anything. But the reality of it is, it became, there was some fun and humor as well. So,
Yeah, Les, one other question. What's still left out there for you guys to look at in this next signing period and coming in January?
well, we're going to look, and we saved a couple of grants so that we could go into that signing period and look. And Marcus Harris was a guy that came out of that signing period. It was pretty good. Yeah, so we'll look at the next signing period, but not in a needy way. We put a pretty good class to bed.
Hey, Les, wanted to ask about the Run 21 idea for this class. Where did that come from? Who came up with it? And I guess, did you enjoy doing it?
Well, I can tell you that I enjoyed doing it. There's no question about it. It was not something that would come natural to me, but it was a lot of fun. And who came up with the idea? I want to say it was one of our people with great creativity that sit on the perimeter of this football program and step forward. But I thought it was tremendously entertaining. What did you guys think?
I was just wondering who did the rapping for you guys.
Well, I think it was one of our players.
Is it Parchment?
Yeah, I think it was Parchment. So, yeah, he's got some talent.
Hey, Les, at a place like Kansas, if you had to choose to this question, is it more important to recruit good players or develop them once they're on campus?
I don't think you can do one without the other. I think you make a great point. You have to bring them in. They have to be committed, and you're going to want them to stay years so that they can play their very best football when they might go either from football here to a career, or they might go from football here to football in the NFL. And in the event, we need to help them take those strides by developing them. So you have to pick the good ones, and you have to recruit them and demonstrate your ability to get them their degree, but you also have to develop them.
Les, you talked about early next year having a few left over and taking a look there. How much are you open to the idea of looking at the transfer portal?
Well, it has to be the right fit and the right guy, but I have interest in the transfer portal. It's not up to this point. It's not been a giving; it's been a taking relationship. I look forward to it being a giving relationship.
Hey, what's your reaction to the number of guys who have used that to leave as seniors and go play somewhere else? I mean, you mentioned Parchment a minute ago, but Stephon Robinson and some other guys have done that. What's kind of your reaction to that trend?
Well, it's one that it's a new rule. It's something that people are going to try to see if they can one up their college education's experience. And I think you'll find it to be a trend. I think it'll be minimized later, but I think this thing's developing, and we'll have to figure it out.
And Coach, with this incoming class, I mean, you talked about the importance of players sticking together. I mean, there was even talk about a freshman group chat with players when we would interview them. How important is it for this class to stick together as you collectively try to rebuild the program?
I don't think there's any question that certain guys will want to stay and build. And I think it's in their DNA as much as anything. And I'm certain that piece is more prevalent with this class here, because I could see them want to build long-term relationships, not only with coaches, but with their teammates.
Hey, you've been at KU 2 years now. What's your assessment of the state of the program at this point?
Well, I like where we're at. I think there's an opportunity for us to continue to improve. We're not a finished product in any way, but I think there's the opportunity for us to improve and win. And that's you back this class into the group that is pretty talented, and then the next class, you could be not only deep, but you could be talented. And that's certainly the plan.
We have time for one more.
How do you anticipate the scholarship situation being for 2021 as far as numbers and where you would need to be?
I think we're getting closer to the 85 number totally, and we'll have to see how that all plays. I think we'll have scholarships certainly in the short term.
All right, thanks.